Hey guys, so I guess this is gonna be kind of like my last little video in this kind of series I've been doing, in this sort of mining adventure I'm having with you guys. So I wanted to show you the mining pool finally that I am working with and how I set up my miner. So here we go. This is the website that I use. This is ethermine.org. When you go here, it's probably actually going to look like this. I just like the dark theme. It's easier on my eyes, I guess. So it's going to say Bitfly here in the corner, and it's just ethermine.org. Nothing else. I mean, you'll see the HTTPS, of course. It'll be secure. This is what it looks like. I'm going to go back to the dark theme because I like it. Okay, so then you'll come here and you'll go to start mining. It's going to show you some information here that you're going to need in a little bit. You're going to scroll down and you're going to choose your mining software. First, you have to select based on your operating system and the cards that you have. So for me, at least on this rig that on my gaming computer that I am recording on right now, I have Windows and they are NVIDIA cards. So I'm going to click on Windows NVIDIA, and then I personally have Phoenix Miner. I have seen, some people on YouTube, they're using the T-Rex miner. It's probably really good. I mean, if they're using it still with all their cards, I just know nothing about it. I haven't tried it. I've thought about trying it, but I'm comfortable in Phoenix Miner right now. And so this is where we are. So you're going to click on Download and Configuration Guide. And it's going to take you, I already had it open. It's going to take you here to this Bitcoin Talk forum. And you're going to see the author is Phoenix Miner, so it's the guy who created the Phoenix Miner software. This is his post in Bitcoin Talk. You're going to scroll down. You're going to want version 5.5c. So we're going to keep scrolling down. It's right below this screenshot here. You're going to go quick start. When you open that up, you're going to see this here, this mega.nz. And it's going to have all of his versions here. So for me, because it's Windows and I want 5.5c, I'm going to come down here to the bottom and right click it. I went to download. I did standard download. I know it says download a zip, but even when I did standard download, I got a zip file. So I don't know what the difference was. Now, when you download this, I already have it downloaded, so I'm not going to download it again. And I already put it through on my browser, so it's not going to show it. But when you download this, your browser is most likely going to stop you from downloading it completely. And it'll go through the whole download, but before it actually gives it to you, it's going to stop it and tell you that it's a potentially harmful file. You're going to have to go in with whatever browser you're using, go into your downloads and allow it to finish downloading. You're also probably going to notice later when you run your miner that your antivirus is going to snatch it up. So you're going to need to allow the file path through your antivirus as well. Don't be alarmed. As long as you've gotten this from the right place, you're going to be fine. The reason why your browser and your antivirus are stopping it is because of past and current bad actors who are putting mining software into other files to basically mine off of your computer without you knowing. So all the antiviruses and stuff now they just automatically block all miners to protect people who aren't mining and who don't know what's happening. So as long as you're getting this from the right place here, you know, whether you follow me or, you know, if you're grabbing another one, just make sure that you're following an official path. You'll be fine. Okay, so now you've got your Phoenix Miner in your downloads, and I'm just gonna open this up here and show you, but you're going to extract this. So in mine, I have renamed mine, but I extracted it directly into my C drive to make this really simple for myself, and I'll show you why in a second. But you're gonna extract it to your C drive. This is potentially where your antivirus is going to stop you if it hasn't already taken it, and the last place will be when you run it. Your antivirus is going to take it, like literally take it and quarantine it, so you won't have the exe file anymore. So make sure that you have if it takes it here, you won't be able to do it, but if it doesn't take it here, make sure right after you put it here that you go into your antivirus and allow an exception to this file path so that it doesn't pick it up and take it away from you. So, okay, so I moved an extra one in here so that we can look at the basic one that you're going to see first. Sorry if you heard that. Apparently there's some garbage trucks outside. We're gonna open up mine as well here. There's logs and stuff in mine, which you're not gonna see. Oops. You're not gonna see that in this one, obviously, because this one hasn't been run yet. So, okay. These are what you're gonna work on. The startminer.bat. Not this etc one. I mean, unless you're mining Ethereum Classic, then you can do that. I believe, let's edit this one and see. Yeah, coin Ethereum Classic. So that's what you're going to use if you are mining Ethereum Classic. It does have a preset bat file here for you, but if you're just doing regular Ethereum like I am, it'll be this one. You don't have to use this one. You can create, like I have you can see actually I have a few here. I did test mining some UBQ. That was on a different computer with some older cards that can't mine Ethereum, but it wasn't profitable, so I didn't keep doing it. But you see I have another bat file there for that one. And I made a new one. This is my actual Ethereum bat file. So, but I'm just going to open up this one because this is what it's going to look like here, which is very similar to the Ethereum Classic one. So these are some settings that Phoenix Miner starts with for your NVIDIA cards. I left mine. Do I have this open already? I have this open several times. So you can see in mine, I left it exactly the same as it started with. I have removed, obviously, this is just text here to help you. I removed all of that. Okay, so phoenixminer.exe, so that it runs that application. I did watch a video where they put in the entire file path here, but I don't do that because I open the command prompt and run it through that, which I'll show you in a second here how I do that. So I just leave my phoenixminer.exe because I'm going to take it right to that file. Then it's your pool. So, I mean, because we took it from Ethermine, it might already be set up like this. I don't know if you got Phoenix Miner another way, if it would still show Ethermine. It might, because Ethermine is very popular. So, open this back up actually, because this is where you're gonna come back to getting started here. and you're going to see these are their pools. The servers are their pool names. So if you're in Europe, you're going to want Europe 1. You know, if you're in USA, I use USA 1. Then of course if you're in Asia, you're going to want the Asian pool. I mean, you could probably connect to one of the other ones, but it's not going to be beneficial for you. You're going to want to connect to the pool, the servers that you're closest to, so that you're pinging your connection speed to be as fast as possible and as reliable as possible. Okay, and so if you're not using SSL, like I'm not, you would need your port to be 4444. So you can see that in mine. After the pool, my US 1, I have 4444. In the example that it gives you, it's an SSL, and so the port is different, 5555, so make sure that you set that up properly for yourself. You know, I don't really mess around with having like a different pool to mine to. I know some people might do that, but my second pool is just the US 2, and that's only, I mean, that would only be applicable if something happened to the first pool, like if for whatever reason the servers went down in US East. Now, I haven't really been mining a long time, but it's been like maybe 2.5 months now, close to that. And US 1 has never gone down. So I've never needed a second one, but you can put if you're in the US, you could put US 2 there if you wanted. Obviously, there's only one European pool and one Asian pool, so I don't know what you would do for your second pool, but you're most likely not even going to need it. But anyway, so you've got your pools set up. And then in here, this is the wallet address for the guy who made Phoenix Miner. You're not going to want to leave that in there. You're going to want to get your Ethereum address from whatever personal wallet you have. So you would go to that wallet, click receive, grab that address, and put it here. I go to a personal wallet. I don't have my payments. This is where your payments go. So when you meet that threshold and they automatically pay you, they're going to send those payments to this address. I don't use an exchange to have my payments go there. You'll want to do research on that first, just to make sure, because we know, guys, how easily crypto can get lost if things aren't perfect. So if you want to be super safe, just go to a personal wallet, and make transfers to exchanges later when you're ready. Rig 01 is just the name of the rig. So for mine, this is my personal computer, so it's just Ember. That's your rig name. That's how you're going to identify it when you're looking at like the Ethermine overview screen of what's happening. Okay, and then pause is just if your miner crashes, it's going to pause. This 4 is nothing. I'm sorry. I have a mouse with with numbers on the side, and when I move it, I often hit 4. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so if your miner crashes, it's going to pause the screen so that you can see what happened. I don't have that on mine. I don't really care. This straps 2 is for my 1080. So straps, this is for NVIDIA 10 series cards. So this is only helping my 1080. Each strap level corresponds to a predefined combination of memory timings. Strap level 3 is the fastest, but it may not work on most cards, with 1 being the slowest, but still faster than default. So I have mine set to 2. Without straps 2, I noticed that I'm like down quite a few hashes, so I use straps to get a little bit more out of my 1080. This will show you, like, these are a whole bunch of options that you can put into that bat file that I'm showing you to, tweak your cards. I don't do that. That's like a lot of work that I'm just not interested in. Plus, over the last month or so, I've been doing a lot of like card switching. I haven't gotten any more cards because what cards are left are ridiculously expensive because only third-party sellers have them, and they're like at least double the MSRP, if not more, and it's insane. I'm not gonna pay that kind of price. The return on investment for Ethereum, you just never know what, for any of these, you never know what it's gonna be like long term. So you can look at calculators right now and figure out, you know, how long it's gonna take you to recoup your losses, basically, you know, the investment, to make your money back on your investment. But I mean, just to kind of give you an example, when I started this, Ethereum was around $1,000. Like, it was just reaching that point, and it was looking pretty good. Then, as I was building that rig with you guys, Ethereum was at its highest point. Like, it was practically $2,000, and I was practically going to make $2,000 a month with just my small setup that I had. And my return on investment would be huge. Like, I would have paid that back really quickly. But now that Ethereum's dropped again and people aren't doing as many transactions, my income for the rig has basically halved. And it's still really nice, don't get me wrong, as long as like Ethereum doesn't go to zero, which I don't really see happening. I'm still gonna make my money back that I put into it, but it's gonna take longer. But it's okay. It's gonna take me like, you know, at this point it would have been like 6 more months if Ethereum was still at its high price. But now it's looking like it would be about 8 more months to pay off just what I have out there. So, and these. So my two 3070s, two 5700 XTs, 4 5500 XTs, which are not, you know, if you buy them at their MSRP, is not really that expensive. I didn't, but they were still way cheaper than what they are now. And then my motherboard and my CPU, you know, those small things out there, some power supplies. All of that is going to take me about a year to pay off. So just keep that in mind when you're starting this. If Ethereum goes down, it's going to take me even longer to pay that off. Not that you can even really buy cards right now, so, because, wow, that chip shortage. It's crazy. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to our stuff. So, now you've got your bat file set up. You can put settings into this to work on your cards if you want to, but, oh, why is this closed? It's fine. It still has all my settings, but I use MSI Afterburner because I think it is much more simple than trying to, you know, discover what each of those commands are, each of those options, and then having to come in here and change this every time, because I can just apply changes on the fly with MSI Afterburner, and I have my profile set up here. So this is why I only have phoenixminer.exe here and not the whole file path, because I don't actually run the exe like from the folder. So it needs to be run as administrator. It's not going to work properly if you don't. So I have this already set up to, you can see administrator command prompt here. So this is my miner already running. We've seen this before in my nice low speeds because I'm currently recording. So I'm just going to close this here and I'm going to show you. Okay, so for my Afterburner setups, I can't have the profile set. So I have to go back to default, because if I do, especially for my 3070, that's the biggest one. This is my 3070 setup here. If If I leave this like this and I try to run my Phoenix Miner, I'm just going to get incorrect shares like immediately. So I have to return to my default settings, and then I have to come here. So I already have it running as administrator. So then I just put in, this is where I put in the file path. So I go to my C drive, and then in my C drive is my personal Phoenix Miner folder, and then the start. So I have that third one set up. So that's Ethereum Classic. There's the one that I run. Then I run that, just like this. GPU 1 unable to set straps, that's fine. We know that. The straps are only for the 10 series cards, and the GPU 1 is the 3070. Connected to pool US 1. So now it's generating the DAG for the cards. And this is where if you had a 4 GB card or smaller, that DAG wouldn't generate. Unfortunately. So you need at least a 6 or higher right now. So okay, new job. Eth share found for GPU 1, which is not unusual. The 3070 is definitely a better card than the 1080, but the 1080 is good. Okay, it looks like they're both running. So now you can see my speeds are pretty low at default settings, much lower than we can get them at. Oh, except for my GPU 2. But what happens, we'll see here. I'm gonna watch this for a second. The card gets pretty hot. So actually I think, yeah, I have to bring it down a little bit so that it doesn't kill itself. Yeah, temperature. I mean, 68 is not much, but I think at one point I was looking at 81, but for me it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and I want my cards to last as long as possible, especially if our markets are going to be like this for a while. I want to get as much out of them as I can for as long as possible. And I don't do serious overclocking. Like, I don't push it really hard just to get that extra hash or two. It's up to you how you want to do it. There are lots of people who do it that way. And when cards aren't as expensive as they are right now, mathematically it might make sense to push them harder and get that extra money. But at the moment, with cards being like 3 times their normal cost, I don't think getting an extra hash is worth, really burning your card. So this is definitely much lower though. So let's go back to our 3070 here. And I'm going to load my profile 1. I have the core clock undervolted here. And then my memory clock is up. This is about as high as I can get while still having my card stable. Any higher and I start to get more like incorrect shares. And this power limit is basically as low as I can go. Any lower than that, and the card basically just stops working. It fails. So those are all things. Every card, even within the same series, every 3070 is going to be different, and every 1080 is going to be different from another 1080. So even though you see this here for my 3070, you may be able to do better than mine, or it may be a little bit worse. I'm not sure. So you'll have to test for each of your cards. So you can see now mine went back up to 54. Like I said in my other video, if I'm not doing anything, it'll be 61, but I am running the recording software right now. So it's taking a little hit there, but that's okay. Okay, let's look at that 1080 again. Still hovering at 69. I do, however, have my window open, and it's quite chilly outside, so that could be helping. But I'm going to set my profile anyway. I want to undervolt it a little bit here so that it's not using so much power. The 1080 is definitely a little bit more of a power hog than the 3070. And it did bring down the temperature right away. But yeah, it drops the mega hashes. That's okay. You know, it's fine. My electricity, it's not free. And it's about the average cost. There's definitely places in the US where it's more expensive, and there's places in the US that are cheaper than here. So it's not super expensive, but it's not super cheap. So I do cut back on my watts for that reason as well. You could push, you know, your cards harder and have higher watts if you have cheap electricity. That's fine too. But yeah, for my electric cost reasons, plus not wanting to burn out my cards too fast, I undervolt mine. But yeah, so here it is running. It's already found, the 3070's found 9 shares already, the 1080's found 3, which is, that's pretty much how it goes. The 3070 definitely works harder, gets more jobs done, but that's okay. You know, 28 mega hashes a second is still, you know, it all adds up. I mean, it's still better than my 5500s, right? I think those were like 26.7 or something. Anyway, let's go back to my Ethermine here. Okay, so this is currently with my 3 rigs here, really just 2 computers, 2 gaming computers, well, 1 older one, and mine, and then my actual mining rig. Right now, I'm estimated to make $1,000 a month. Now, just a few days ago, when Ethereum was even lower, it was $900 a month. So, you know, every day, if the price of Ethereum changes, this is going to change. You just kind of have to go with it. I know some people do pool hop, basically trying to earn the most money they can. I haven't done that. I've been looking into a few other pools, but Ethermine, it just has a really good reputation. I've gotten several payments from them already. I think, well, we can look at it here. I was originally getting paid out at 0.05 Ethereum, but I went up to 0.1. So, looking at our Ethermine here, this is what I typically watch and check on a fairly consistent basis to make sure that, you know, none of my stuff has gone down. And what I mean by that is this green line, this reported hash rate. It's where you're going to notice if something is currently wrong. Like this blue one, it's going to change a lot throughout the day, just depending on like what your computer is doing, the difficulty of the S shares, if you're getting jobs right now or not. So you don't really want to watch that one as much. This green one's going to tell you, though, if something is wrong. Your average, just your average between the two. So you can see here that I had a dip, and that is where I just shut off my miner to, demonstrate starting up my miner with you guys. So if you see this drop pretty significantly, you'll know that something happened. Sometimes one of my cards is crashed. Sometimes I just need to restart. You know, I'm suddenly getting incorrect shares because I need to regenerate the DAG. So, you know, in the morning when I get up, I check this first thing to make sure, you know, that it went through the night. You know, if something went down, I need to go fix it. And then I'll check it periodically through the day, and then, of course, before I go to bed, make sure that everything's running well. Stale shares, they happen. Don't worry too much about them. If it's small like this, if you're starting to get too many, you will want to either restart your miner or you're going to need to tweak your cards some more. Get them more stable. There's some sort of instability happening there. That's messing up your miner. That's basically it. It's actually pretty simple when you get to this point. Really, the most frustrating thing is going to be, BIOS modding and setting up these mining profiles, because sometimes you're going to end up crashing I've crashed my whole computer a couple of times with my power limit being too low, or the overclocking being too high, so then you have to start everything back up. And then of course it's also because you need to let this run for a few hours at least, with certain settings, to see how it works, because sometimes you don't start getting incorrect shares until like an hour later. So it can be kind of annoying because it takes a little bit of time, and you'll crash things. Hopefully you don't kill anything. I've not burnt up anything. Just don't go crazy right away, keep it pretty simple and do small increments. That's why you're also going to be doing small increments. You want to edge yourself as close as you can to your lowest power limit, until you crash, and then you're going to go back up a little bit and find out what's best for your card. You might have to go up a little bit more. Sometimes if you take it down too far, even though your card is still working, you're getting a lower hash rate, and so you're just, it's this game that you're going to play between making sure that your power limit is as low as possible so that your cards are using the least amount of watts, but you're overclocked enough that you're making your maximum profit at that power level. It's fun. I'm still not even completely done with my cards. I have to do some more work on my those 5700s. I know that the video was a while ago, but I've kind of just been letting them do their thing. But I should really get into that and make sure that they're getting their maximum profit, because I'm wasting money by just letting them go like that. But yeah, so let's look at my rig, right? So I said that I had it set up in Hive OS, so here it is, my farms. This is my Ember farm. Oh, I'm not corny at all, and I'm super original. So you can see this is how cool Hive is. So I don't have the daily cost, I don't have my electricity set up there. So my entire rig, well, I say my entire rig, but I'm pretty sure this is just for my GPUs. I don't think it shows my CPU watt consumption. So these are my 6 cards. My 6 cards are using 466 watts. But my 6 cards are mining at 210.9 mega hashes. Typically. They're reported and stuff will change. It's down a little bit. I wonder if I have to go in there and fix something. But it's close to 12,000 hashes a second, or 12 kilohashes a second. So that's my CPU, my XM rig. And then in here, click on my Ember farm. You can see this is I have it called rig 1. My daily cost is free, like I was saying. You get that one rig free. So we'll go into my rig 1, and then look at all of this. You can see all your temps for your cards. These are my 2 5700s, and these are the 4 5500s. Obviously running cooler, so they're not as powerful. I actually, I got another power supply, and I got my hands on some more Molex cables, so I'm going to switch out those SATA cables and put Molexes in. Yes. Okay, so here we go. These are my cards here working. Oh, so smoothly. So this is basically like the same line that you see in Ethermine, that green line that I was showing you. When the rig goes down, these will drop off. But you can see here, this has been running nice and smooth for, I think this shows like the last 24 hours. But you can see here, yeah, Monday, Tuesday. Oh, look at that. Singing along so sweetly. I love the sound of my rig. It's actually really quiet. You know, when people talk about it being really loud, I think you just have to have a lot of cards, or you have to have those ASIC miners, which I hear are really loud. I don't have any of those. I don't know if I want any of those. But anyway, my 5700s. Yep, as you can see, I have not tweaked them yet. They're still doing not as good as they could be. These are all basically the same. But when I first started out my rig, before I did any tweaking in here, I had some really high memory temps. Like, I think one of them reached 102, and I was like, oh gosh, scary. So Hive is pretty sweet. I mean, being able to see all of your cards like this, how they're doing, how they're hashing, you know, the watts they're consuming. So here in Hive, in order to get your rig to start running and actually working, you'll select your rig here. You'll go to flight sheet, and you're going to add a new flight sheet. You're going to create a new one. So you want to get your coin of choice, and obviously an Ethereum wallet. Here you're going to select your pool. Now, you know, if you do the Hive pool, you'll get to have 3 rigs for free, all going to the Hive pool. I don't have that set up yet. I'm going to come down here. I do Ethermine, US East, miner. I have Phoenix miner. So I know it shows it all here, but you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about these particular, like, filling in those things there, because you're going to add a wallet here. So you would put in your wallet address, give it a name. If everything you're going to be doing is Ethereum, you can save it as a global wallet, but I wouldn't do that if you're going to be doing more than one coin. And then it's going to apply that to this miner for you. So then you just name your sheet and you'll create it. I'm going to reset that. I don't need another miner. You can see I kind of messed this up. If you do this separately, and you try to run the XM rig while your Ethereum miner is already running, it's going to stop your GPU miners and then run XM rig. It has to be in the same flight sheet if you want them to both work at the same time on the same, rig setup. So let's go back to this. So yeah, it's really super simple. I may have made it look confusing, but there's a lot of information online about a bunch of cards, so you can at least find somewhere to start with your card and then just do tweaking from there, because every card is different. So that's all for this one, guys. I don't know. I want to do more mining stuff, but right now cards are, if you can even find them, are ridiculously expensive. So I'm not going to be buying any more stuff right now. So this is basically going to be my rig for a little while here, at least the next month or so. We'll see what happens. I know that a lot of companies have said that their prices for the cards are going to go up, when the next batches come in, because of everything that's going on. So we'll see. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I hope that this was at least moderately helpful. Yeah, good luck, guys. If you are getting into mining, I hope it goes well for you. And yeah, so I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.